It should be back. Question mark.
Okay.
Portable, if you can hear this, I appreciate you hanging around. Hope you have a good night. Am I following you, Yurt? I should be, right? I'm pretty sure. Following say...
Dude, if you were not following Yurt, that would be crazy. Dude, that would be insane.
Why is it trying to take me to the creator dashboard for Yurt? Just give me the... Why can't I see... There we go. Need to open up the native Twitch menu. And now that's loading. Well, the main thing is, like, I thought if I'm following Yurt, I would have notifications turned on. I'm pretty sure. And if you streamed Dark Souls 3, I don't remember getting a what's it called? A notification for that. So I want to make sure I've got...
Bro, now mine's, like, wigging hard.
Dude, I can't... My Twitch page won't load properly. Twitch has already been acting really weird.
Yeah, I'm, like, on a consistent, like, 300 now.
Just 2 underscores after Yurt's name, I think. Am I right?
But this is crazy.
Am I right in that? 2 underscores, yeah. Dude, yeah, the last speed test my Stream Deck ran was at 7:53 p.m. And that was, like, pretty good numbers. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, because I was, like, gonna suggest... Dude, wow! I'm getting even worse. I was gonna suggest, like, a chill, non-connection based thing. But now I'm just genuinely getting, like, 500 ping. And I can, like, barely do anything.
This is showing I'm not following Yurt, and that's kind of embarrassing. But now I am. I could have sworn at some point I know I was following Yurt.
I'm following your... I can tell you that.
I'm thinking Twitch unfollowed me, because I wouldn't have done that. Especially for someone who, like...
There's no way Meta would ever forget to follow you.
If... I've known Yurt for, like... Man, how many years? How many years would I have known Yurt? You're just one of the original people that was co-oping with ENB when his streams started. I'm pretty sure I had followed him at some point since, what is it, like 2016, 2017? Since 2020, maybe? Like, there's no way I didn't have a follow. And I know there were issues with Twitch unfollowing people at some point between then and now. So I'm putting it on that. That's all I'm saying.
I've got 700 ping. I'm changing the subject, okay?
Okay.
The collab icon means you can click knock to ask to collaborate from the channels list. You know about this? I can knock to you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a new thing.
Already, I'm about to knock.
Bro.
Matter if I ever added you as a favorite, knock to ask to collaborate. How do I add somebody as a favorite?
I don't know. You and Wheat were already, like, in my favorites list.
Interesting.
It's weird that, so, like, Ryuji added me as a favorite, but it didn't add Ryuji to my favorites, which is weird.
Oh, it just automatically takes you into the guest star. I was really hoping that was axed. Again, it just was a better system.
It would just, like, automate it.
Thing.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I just don't want... This is just the same thing as before.
Yeah, it's just like a new part of it.
Oh, stream this video on your channel?
Collab request. I have a minute to respond. Accept.
Bro, I just sent bro a collab request.
Sorry, I don't do collab requests. Sorry, bro. I'm taking notes from a friend of mine.
Did you deny me? Why did
No,
you give me the prompt to knock again?
I clicked accept. Request accepted. Open stream together. It's opening a tab. So it just gave me a pop out of the guest star thing.
Yeah. Okay, wait. What? Why am I not? It took me to my guest star. I mean, I don't need to have the pop out up. I can knock again. I'm knocking again. Why does it take me to Fizzy Blizzy guest star? Shouldn't it take me to Meta Forever?
I don't know. Because it's also taking...
Stream this video on your channel.
Do I have to knock to you?
Any session you take part of...
Decline?
Will display... This is so confusing. They gotta just... Bro, get rid of this garbage. Just freaking put me on the stream. Like, I don't...
My favorites.
It's not that hard.
I clicked on your name from my favorites and it opened up your stream. Why didn't it give me the option? Where's the... Why can't I just...
Am I live?
No, like, why is it not giving me the option? Okay, I have to click invite guests. Where's the knock button? Wait, but it would make sense for you to have the knock button because you've got the... Because I'm live, right? So you would knock on my stream. Asked...
Yeah.
But I can't knock to you, I can just send invite.
Well, because I'm not live.
Yeah, but if you're knocking on my door, asking me if I want to collab, wouldn't I be inviting you into mine? You come knocking on my door, and I'm like, can I come in?
I'm knocking on your... I'm like the UPS man, okay? It's like...
No, because...
Like, I come to you.
you come to my door, you knock on it. I say you ask if you can come in, and I'm like, yes. But then I'm coming into your house. How does that make sense?
No. Well, okay, yeah, that's the thing that doesn't make sense. I don't know why it's bringing me the Fizzy Blizzy guest star pop-up.
Well, it
should be giving me the Meta Forever.
Right. When I accepted, it was bringing me to the Fizzy Blizzy one, too. So you knocked on my door, and you invited me in to my own house. Because I said you could.
Well, actually, I invited you into my house.
That's true, yeah. Why was I... So...
My house is actually just the outside.
I guess so. You're just inviting me to touch grass.
See, the thing is, you haven't shown up on my pop-out not a single time. So...
But I sent an invite!
Who knows? Meta Forever wants to collaborate. Except... Okay, now I'm on your stream.
Okay.
But only because you invited me. If I knock to you to ask to join, and you accept it, it doesn't do anything but...
So am I...
Yeah.
So am I standing outside of your door, and you're knocking from the inside of your door, and asking me if I want to come in?
Stop. I can't. I actually can't. Like, I don't know, dude. There's a lot of knocking happening. It's stressing me out, okay? I'm hearing sounds from all around me.
Because, like...
The door's open. Is it neutral? Is it not neutral? We'll never know. You know, I don't even... Bro.
All I know is, like, I can't knock on your door. But you can knock on your door.
Well, because... I mean, what a sentence, really. I can knock... You can knock... I can't knock on your door, but you can knock on your door. This is like... Not to mention the fact that I still have like 800 ping.
Mm-hmm. My stream seems like really stable, but I don't trust playing any games.
I was gonna suggest that we just played Minecraft anyways, like just as a chill session. But the thing is, I have like such high ping, I don't even know if I can get on that.
Bro, you're gonna break a block and it's gonna respawn inside of you like 3 seconds later.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I'm like an average of like 800 right now. This is a just chatting stream, honestly. What's what we got?
Yeah. Yo. Blizzard. $40. I will decompile, modify, edit Unreal Engine Unity games, extract assets, source code. This guy's speaking our language.
Give me the link. I want to see this.
Let me reorganize my desk since I don't need my controller for anything right now.
If we get this, the thing is, once we get the source code, we have to figure out what to do with it from there, which is a whole other can of worms. Bro, I genuinely, like... Can I even pull up the webpage?
Right, dude, my web pages are taking so long to load. At least on my laptop, but it's also super hot, so maybe that's why. Also, yeah, your Minecraft with like high ping is just not worth playing.
See, the thing is, I can decompile the game. I can decompile the game. That's what I mean. I feel like this is saying too much. Source code, I feel like they're gonna be like, oh, we can't get that, and then it's like we just wasted $40.
Regardless of the level,
the game and recompile it.
Regardless of the level of your game design, our game modification services can help you get the most out of your game. As game developers, employees, modders, or enthusiasts, we possess the expertise necessary to elevate your projects created with a... So, okay, it doesn't sound like...
This is an AI-generated description.
It does seem very AI. Imagine the possibilities. No one says that and then puts a colon.
Yeah, I can see that.
But then you don't click enter, and you start with a lowercase letter after that. Who's doing that? Member since May 2024.
Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't
it says AI.
Yeah, I don't. I will modify and edit APK with no access to source code. I will Muslim Pro clone Islamic app, prayer learning app, Android. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, actually, this would be a better thing to look up. Reverse engineering. I don't know if that's what you were looking at before, but that's kind of what we're...
I was looking up Unreal Engine modding.
Reverse engineering... Add... Power analysis... PCB reverse engineering, that's the first thing that's even coming close to what I would consider to be a real reverse engineering.
Member since May 2024.
CAD modeling. Yeah. Your neighbor.
member since
Give me
May
$20, I'll use an AI
2024.
to-
See, I'm seeing a very common trend here. A lot of these being created in May 2024. Wonder what significant thing happened. July 2024. Wow. Bro, what is this? This person's like... The description of their thing is poetry. It's just weird. Alright, so Fiverr is just like all AI now, huh? That's unfortunate.
Yeah, the entire internet. Be that. AI services. There is a Mid-Journey artist? Are you freaking serious? Yeah, no, reverse engineering is like... I don't know. I mean, we've tried it before already, but we just simply need somebody that is truly
Knowledgeable
the goat and talented of it. Because you were, I mean, you were genuinely like,
Dude, I was digging so deep into it. We were finding models for things. We like unlocked the camera and stuff. We were able to teleport the character. And the hard thing is,
that's
like,
only because we had the Unreal Engine unlocker.
yeah,
You could never get a consistent value for the position or for like getting anything for auto splitting because there's like so many values that change.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Somebody could probably do it, but we simply...
You can hear again. Very nice.
There we go. One step. I wish we were cooler. We could change the texture of the entire uniform.
That's all I want, bro. I just want a program that changes the texture of the uniform. I mean, there's actually a lot more that I want, but that is what I want more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how to change the material. Like, it's because it's a material and not a texture.
We just want
It's like...
a unicorn with blue twin tails. Like...
Yeah, I'm gonna make a... Yeah.
It's gonna be the first thing. The first official mod. It's just gonna be a Hatsune Miku skin.
There's something taking up network.
So Ryuji, what you
Epic
missed
Games
basically
launch...
is
Oh! Dude!
you finding something?
Epic Games Launcher is taking up 86 megabits per second. That's
Dude,
more than
wow.
I have. What's it, What's going on?
Dude is hungry.
What's happening? Downloads? It's updating Fortnite. And we're back. My connection's good now.
What we're
All
doing
right.
now, since playing video games is likely not going to happen for us. We're just looking for ways to mod Unreal Engine so that we can do custom stuff in Unicorn.
Okay, well now my internet's good now, so if we wanted to play Minecraft or something, we might be able to. I can at least, but I'm still on this unicorn grind here.
Right.
Where's my Unreal Engine unicorn modding? Yeah, look. Unicorn purple eyes, unicorn white eyes. For repacking, for putting into UE4 editor. Extracted game from Street Fighter 5 Unfactor. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, that's right, because I had end up using the Street Fighter 5 Unpacker. Something. And here's all of the content actors. Materials. This is probably where like the most of it comes from. And then you put this into for putting into Unreal Engine 4 editor. After UE4 editor, this is like whatever. Then repacking. Without compression, I think it was, or something like that. Your white eyes, yeah. These are the EXEs of the game, and then it crashes when it's in, what is it, space, I think? Oh, look at that.
The customize.
Yeah, I think this is what crashed the game, right? It was looking backwards in this. Yeah. So I still didn't technically even get this working, because even that you can't technically do.
Right. Something like it's crazy because all you did was replace one file, but like there's definitely
Right,
more
nothing has
that
changed.
that didn't work when it was recompiled.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, I don't know. Leakhorn textures. Yeah, here's the one thing I have. I don't feel like opening the Unreal Engine 4 editor right now, honestly. But yeah, that's that. Oh, okay. For Android stuff. It's like the most boring thing we've done in a very long time. I'm trying to keep it interesting, but my brain is kind of just all over the place right now. Pittsburgh is supposedly trending on Google. I really
cool.
doubt that. But you know.
Hacking Unreal Engine games has never been easier with the guided hacking Unreal Engine dumper. View every class that makes up a game along with its fields and methods, dump every live object, browse and modify fully named fields with the UE structure dissector, and even call methods with the dumper's API. All of this integrated seamlessly into Cheat Engine. I have not found this before. What do we have? Unicorn 2?
It's just somebody's review where it's like for some reason they use it's not like it makes it look like it's Unicorn 2, but it's like Unicorn 2 platform 3D or something like that.
Oh, that's just like they're using the 2 as like a separator, maybe?
Well, no, because then there wouldn't be a
yeah, I don't. Hey, man, I don't understand French people. Okay.
That's your response to that? People also ask, what is the rarest unicorn? Yeah, download that program that you found, I guess.
I've got to create a login. Or do I? I can download it. Important, read this entire message and scroll down. Guided hacking sells educational content. Sole purpose of this website is educational content. It's like a massive Udemy course.
Did you mean nicotine? No.
Is not a website for immature skids who want to paste Fortnite cheats.
Dude, is Nico's channel gone? I'm not finding it. Did you mean nicotine? No, I did. Unicorn.
Dang.
Right, nobody can see what I'm doing right now.
I wonder if he renamed his channel. It's definitely not coming up with the normal.
Unicorn version of Super Mario. Okay, what if we... Oh yeah, we did. Deleted account.
No.
Wow.
So the game is still up for download.
Yeah, the games are still here.
Oh, okay.
Nothing has, What is this? Is this here before? About 6 years ago, yeah. Well, about 6 years ago, it's 2018. Yeah, okay. Yes, it was last year. Oh. Eco YouTube content. Game website? What? Okay. Okay, well. Yeah, all of his videos are private. Not that that makes that much of a difference, but you know. I just wish. Yeah, the source code for this. And even then, who knows? You know. 17 days ago, somebody commented. Make Android version, I will be happy. Sorry, we're mindlessly scrolling unicorn-related things. I'm sure Meta's doing something actually useful, but Rocket League is the only thing you can see on the screen.
Yeah.
What's this, can you link this, thing you're getting?
Looks like it does require a paid subscription to this website.
Interesting.
Minimum of 6 months.
Interesting.
See if I can find it through other means.
Unreal Engine Dumper. Is this what you're looking at?
Yes, that was.
Okay. giving me a little tutorial here.
It's
are invoked differently from the dumper's API. Descendants of UObject and AActor are invoked with UE invoke object event and UE invoke actor event.
How to reverse engineer your favorite game. Wish it was that easy. The basics of Unreal Engine 4 modding.
Good day.
Curious what learning this one might be worth my time. Probably not. Well, meta. Yeah. I don't know what you're up to right now.
just on different sites.
I'll try and show you how to make a custom material and material instance for a character model just to get you started. Ooh. This might be worth following, actually.
What was that?
And welcome.
I'm just gonna send you this list.
Okay.
Somebody said something about, apparently he said in part 2, he was talking about making your first mod, which he uses a custom character model as the way to do, like, to teach it.
Okay.
So this might actually...
To the part 1, first part,
I'm gonna, like, watch it right now.
my tutorial
Because we're not doing anything
for
else.
Unreal Engine mod.
Right.
Now, in this tutorial, we will go through how to set up your game for modding, and then how to set up an Unreal Engine project for modding that game. And it is really simple, and if you just follow it step by step, it will only take you...
Step by step.
So first of all, what you need is the Unreal Mod Unlocker. Now, if you are part of the Early Access tier and you are watching this video, then you have Unreal Mod Unlocker Pro Early Access build, which will have a...
This is the same guy as the other thing.
Oh man.
Unreal Mod Unlocker Pro. Yeah, Unreal Mod Unlocker. See.
useful tools. So, start the Unreal Mod Unlocker. I'm just going to turn the music down here. And then, what you want to do is you want to find your game. So, for me, it's in Steam, Steam Apps Common, and then Session. So, Session is the game that I will be using to make these tutorials. Now, where you want to patch the game, or where you want to install this Mod Unlocker is a specific folder. So, go to the root of your games folder like this. It will look very similar to this. And then you want to go to this folder, which you can call...
Okay. New model, I have that Unreal Mod Unlocker Pro. You don't need Pro Beta to mod your games, just for people who want to. Free. Let's do that. Also, what is this flashbang, bro? Where's the free download?
project name, because that is what the game is actually called in the project of it internally, session game. Now, then what you want to do is you want to enter that folder. You want to go to binaries. You want to go to Win64. You won't have, oh, that's a backup. So Win64. And then you will see something similar to this. You'll have an exe in here. Most of the time it will be called Win64 shipping.exe, and then the project name right there at the beginning. So then you want to go up here and you want to click on this right here to highlight the path. Do Control-C to copy it. And then you cannot paste it here. That's for a reason. You want to click open, and then you want to do Control-V right here and hit enter to go to that path. Click select folder, and then all you need to do from here is click patch. It will tell you if you put in the wrong path, and but you should be getting this if you did this correctly. Looks like you are patching the game for the first time. Do you want to install the mod unlocker to this game? Hit OK. And then hit OK. Now, as you can see here, that installed a few files. So you can go ahead and close out the mod unlocker. Right, so it gave us a few files. It gave us these. Now this is the mod unlocker. Now, I'm not going to explain exactly how it works or anything like that, but I'm going to show you a few features. And basically, all you need to know from here is that when you start the game up the first time, it's going to close automatically. So do that now to set up mod unlocker basically. So double click it, the exe, and then you will get this message. It will tell you Unreal mod unlocker settings file missing or corrupted. Don't worry, we will create a new one for you. Your settings will be reset to default settings. Game will now exit to save your settings. Right, hit OK. So the game won't boot or anything. It will just close. But it will create this settings file. And this settings file is very useful because that is where we enable and disable features that are either pro features or early access, so pro early access features. Right, so one of the first things, well basically now your project is already set up for mod. Yeah, it is. So right now, this game, if I boot this game now, you can try to boot it, and what will happen is either you get a message that it didn't work, which if that happens, reach out to me. So if you're in the early access, reach out to me and on Discord directly, and I will take a look at the executable for your game, and I will say you'll need to send me a few files. I'll direct you through the whole process, and I will be adding support for your game or help you to do it. We'll see.
How new is this?
Moment, but after you confirm that the game
It
doesn't
took a year. 2 years.
Okay.
2.5 years.
crash, that the game boots up with the mod unlocker installed, when you know that, you can basically just close out of the game, because then you know that the game will load loose modded files. So in this tutorial, I will go through not how to make any mods, just how to set everything up for you to start making mods. In part 2, I will go through how to start making the mods, and how to find the paths, to where to put them, and all those things. So I'm going to close out of the game, and now the first thing we need to know, because now what we need to know, or need to do, is we need to create a project in Unreal Engine Editor, and that allows us to mod the game. And I will show you how to do that the most effective, the best way, that has the largest range of support for the game. So one thing you can do, there are different ways to, well, let me explain. So to make a mod, you need to basically use the same engine version as the game was actually made on. Unreal Engine has 3 different version numbers. There's the major version number.
I'm gonna go refill my drink.
Version number.
Okay.
What you need to care about is the major and the minor version numbers. Right? The patch one, the 3rd number, does not matter. So let me show you what I mean. Now, if you go to your game folder and you right-click on the executable and you go to Properties, then you go to Details. You can see here under File Version, you'll see a number 4.27.1. 0 is there for nothing. No, but 4.27.1. Now, this is major version. This is minor, and this is the patch. When you mod, you do not ever need to care about the 3rd one, the number 1 in this case. The patch version, all patches of a minor version basically work together. They all work with each other. So if this is 4.27.1, you can use, for instance, 4.27.2 to mod this game. It doesn't matter. Or 4.27.0. Just so you know. So this is a way for you to find as well the engine version. Now, not all games will allow you to do this. And if you are part of the early access, there is right now a tool I'm working on. There is a feature.
.16. Okay.
In the Unreal Mod Unlocker to get the engine version from the game. And to activate that, you go down here to Unreal Mod Unlocker settings.ini, and you open the settings .ini right here. Then you can see here's the normal loose file, low loose files feature for the free version. Then we have the features for the pro version, and then we have the features for the early access version right now. So these are things that I'm working on at the moment. And the one we want to turn on right now is UE version logs. Type true. So remove files and type true. Save it. Control S. Click save. And you can X out. And then you want to start the game. So when you start the game, you just close it immediately. You go into log folder, and then boom, you will have the version log. Let me grab that. They always open the other window. Sorry about that. So this is what you will get in the logs. Now it will tell you the raw engine version, whole thing, whole shebang here, and it will also tell you the parse one. So parse it, and I build this string out of it, so you have something you can use. This is for the future feature of the Unreal Model Locker, but here you can see the version 4.27.1. Now that means we will need 4.27 to mod this game. Right. So let's now go to the next step in this tutorial, which is to install the Unreal Engine editor. Right. So to do that, you will need the Epic Games Launcher, and you will need to go to Unreal Engine and then Library. When you are in the library, now you might not have any versions. You probably don't. You might, if you're interested in this sort of thing. So what you want to do is you want to click on this plus sign, and you want to find in this list your version of the game, the one we just found with the Modern Locker, and you want to click on it, and you want to click install, and then install. Yeah, you want to install this. Now, I'm just going to do that real quick. When it's installed and it says launch on here, you want to go over to the next step, which I will explain right now. And this is the third step here, basically. Now, what we need to do is we need to create a project, and project needs to have the same project name. It doesn't have to. The thing is, when you load loose files, you don't have to have the same project name, but for compatibility's sake, for perfect compatibility, and for good measure, for just teaching you the right way of doing things, I'm going to make sure that you learn to use the real project name from the game. So to do that, you can just click launch for now. I'll show you how to get the project name. It's very simple. We've already gone through it basically. And then when you're in here, you're going to click on games, and then next. And then when you are in here, you can use first person project, which is a good way to test things and to see if things are loading and stuff. If you're more experienced, I advise you to start using blank canvas, a blank project, but for now we are going to use first person. So click on next, and then here is where you want to set the project name. Now you need to set the proper project name of the game. So to do that, we need to go to the root folder of your game, where you have this small executable in the engine folder, and then the project name of a game is this, right here. So the first folder here, that's where basically binaries and content is inside, this folder is the project name. So you want to copy that, and you want to call this project session game, if that's what your game's called that, if that's what this folder is called. In my case, it's a session game. You want to copy the name of this folder. So then you click on create project, and that will then create session game right here. Right. So let's there we go. Sorry, just had a technical hiccup, but yeah. So when you start this map, what you can do is just build. If it says that something's not built, some lighting's not built, just click on build here, and it will start building. It will look like this. And you'll see here build and lighting. Okay, that is actually it. We are done. We've set up our project, we've set up our game, everything is ready for modding, and yeah, that's it for today. We will be discussing this further in the next video. See you then. In the next chapter, we will be discussing the usage of UModel, AES keys.
35 minutes, bro. Nah, it's not happening right now. Okay, maybe it is, but not on stream. Because we're just gonna sit here and watch this video.
I was in the process of updating the title of being just like, we're learning Unreal Engine modding now because we're obsessed with this.
Yeah, alright, you know what, that works. I'm gonna like fall asleep. I'm like actually really tired because I had such a long day.
Hi, and welcome back to to part 2 in my Basics of Unreal Engine Modding tutorial series. Now, in today's episode, we are going to go through 6 different steps to get you to making your first mod. So, the 6 steps that we will go through today are as follows. Step 1 is getting the AES encryption/decryption key. Step 2 is how to use UModel. Step 3 is I will explain to you virtual paths versus folder paths in Unreal Engine and how they differ and how they are the same. Step 4 is I will explain a little bit about file types and how to find file types with UModel. Step 5 is where I do the demonstration. I'm going to do this demonstration with a game session. I'm going to replace a material, and yeah, so I'm going to replace a material and show you that step by step. And then step 6 is really just the conclusion, where I go through reiterate basically the basics of how it all works. Right, so let's get on to step 1. Now, step 1 is getting the AES encryption key. Now, if you have Unreal Engine, if you have Unreal Mod Unlocker, which is my tool, if you have that installed to your game and it's configured, and if you have Unreal Mod Unlocker Pro or the Pro Early Access, what you can do is you can go to the Unreal Mod Unlocker settings, and we'll drag the settings over here from the other screen, and you can turn this setting on. It's going to be false by default, but you can turn that to true. And this will let us dump the AES key. Now, when you have turned that to true and you save the document settings, all you have to do is start up the game, and close it immediately. You don't have to close it, but go ahead and close it. Then inside of Unreal Mod Unlocker logs, you will have this file, AES at the end here, log AES. So you want to open that up. Try to get over once again because they keep opening in my other window.
Well, only if you have the pro version,
Here,
of
you will
course.
see there will be the AES key for the pack file. Right, and this is how you get the AES key. It's very simple. Now that we have the AES key, we are going to go to step 2 of this tutorial, which is how to use UModel. Right, now, just going to minimize this real quickly, and we are going to go over to our UModel folder, and we're going to start UModel with this executable, 64-bit executable. Then, what we will need is the path to our game files. And that path is going to be, so if you go to the root of your Unreal Engine game, you go to the project name folder right here, which is session game for this project, for this game. Then you go to content, packs, and then you have a pack file right here. That is archived with all of our files. You need to copy this path. You need to then go back to UE Viewer, or UModel. You need to click these 3 dots, this button, paste it at the top here, and hit enter. Now you're entered into that folder. You click select folder, you hit OK, and now you're going to get this pop-up. UE Viewer has found an encrypted UE4 pack file. In order to work correctly, please specify an AES encryption key, which is used for this game. Okay, so let's specify that key. So let's go up here, and let's go to the document, the log here with the AES key. Let's copy the whole thing, including the 0x at the beginning, and let's hit OK. And here we are. We are entered into the pack file.
Yeah, I've been in here before.
Mm-hmm.
These file folders, collapse them, and so using UModel is kind of simple. When you use UModel, all you really do is you find the file you want. Let's find any file here. And all you do is you find the file, and so let's find a material like this. Ribsman costume. You double click it, and it's going to ask you, UE Viewer has found an unversioned UE4 package. Now, that's because I didn't specify the version when I loaded this archive. Now, I could have done that, and then we wouldn't get these prompts, but I didn't, so let's just select the version that our game uses. If you don't know which version that is, all you have to do is go to Binaries, then 64, and then right-click the game's shipping executable, go to Properties, Details, and then right here under File Version, you will see the version. What you need is the first 2 version numbers, which is the major and the minor version number.
Looked earlier, it's 4.16. I'm pretty sure I already knew that because I had to know that. So,
Textures. Okay, so now if you can't, by the way, if you cannot find the version number in here, it doesn't always show up in here. If you can't find it, what you can do is once again, if you have Unreal Mod Unlocker Pro, if you have the early access version, what you can do is you can go into settings and turn UE version logs to true. And that's only for early access members. What you can do then is when you start the game and close it, you'll get a log file with the version, which will look like this, which tells you which version it is. So that's another way you can get the version. Okay, now that we know that, let's go back to UModel. Right. So when we open an asset like this, you may wonder, how do I get back to the other menu? Where's the file menu? What you need to do is click File, Open Package, and this is how you get back to it. Right. So when you have found a file that you want to modify, so I want to modify this material, and when you modify a material, you are not actually you're not modifying anything. Really, you are making a new asset. So you can export and edit the texture or whatever, but the best way to go about it is always to be creative and make your own asset from scratch. So that's what we're going to do with this material. So to do that, we will need a few things. And by the way, let me just show you how to export a file and get what we need, the paths we will need in the next step from UModel here. So when you found the file you want to mod, you go here and you click Save Packages, hit OK, and that's it. Now if you go back into UModel, you'll have a UModel save folder, which it will contain the material that we export. Right. And this material is not a material that we can open with Unreal Engine. We can't use this for anything really. The only thing we will use this for is getting paths. And here's where we get to step number 3. So step 3, I will explain virtual paths versus folder paths. Okay, so in Unreal Engine, right, so let's start by explaining it like this. Let's close this up, and let's go in here. So in a pack, we have a base mounting point size base path in the pack, which contains usually engine, plugins, and session game. Okay, so what these represent is folders that would otherwise go into the root folder of our game. So as you can see, in the root folder, we have session game, which we have right here as well. We have plugins, which we don't have here, but that would go in here if we were to unpack all these files. Then we have game, which I'll talk about a little bit later in a second. But then we have engine, right? Engine is also this folder, engine. So the files that are missing from this engine folder in our game, they will be inside of this pack engine.
I like your text.
The last thing is game.
Thank
and what
you.
is game? Well, game is a mounting point that represents, so if we go back to the root folder, you might think, oh, game might represent session game. But it does not represent session game. Game represents content. So game and content is the exact same folder. So let me show you a picture. So this picture explains it. Here we have a file that's inside of a pack file. And inside of a pack file, the file will have this path. Game, character, uniques, ribsman, textures, and then we have the file name. When that file is unpacked, and it's not loaded through a pack, it would look like this. Content, and then, character, uniques, ribsman, textures, and the file name. Right. So basically, what happens here is that game is a virtual path that represents content. Game is a path that only exists inside of packs, and it represents content. Okay. So when we unpack a file package to a U asset, and we want to run that file, what we do is we basically go from here, right? We split right here, and we take this folder with these files, and we move this into content right here to create this. That is how the Unreal Mod Unlocker works. So a file that, well, actually, that is just how it works when you unpack and you put that file into the correct place. Now, how the Unreal Mod Unlocker works is this. The functionality of the Unreal Mod Unlocker is if a file exists inside the pack, we can replace it with the one we ourselves created, or in this case here, I'm demonstrating here with just unpacking a file. As long as it has the same name, engine version, I forgot to type that, the same type, and it's inside the same folder structure as the original file, the one that's located inside the pack file, then, you know, it will load it. So, just
Which
remember
we
that
did.
the folder game is a virtual folder, and that the folder
Yeah, I was gonna say this is.
files are loaded.
I'm getting a tutorial on basically exactly what
The
I've
point is
done,
that you did not have to
Mhm.
export
but I'm gonna keep watching
that
it.
file to make a mod. You can make a completely new file in Unreal Engine 4. You can load that instead of the original file that you are replacing. Just make sure it is of the same type. Okay, here are some types. So, now that I've explained this, how paths work, I'm going to just demonstrate quickly. So, now that we unpacked let me go back to the same folder. Now that we unpacked this material from before, how would we load that in our game? Well, in UModel saved, we'll have game, which is really just content. You can think of it like that. You can even rename it, but let's not for now. When you have this game folder, the next folder inside of it is where the path starts, right? So what you want to do is you just want to drag this into content, and then we have the proper path. Content, character, uniques, ribsman, materials, and the same file name. As you can see here, it's the same paths. Game and content is the same, of course, character, it's all the same. So now if I boot the game up, we won't notice a difference. We won't see any change because we just unpack the file. Well, let's make a change. So how do we do that? How do you edit a material, right? How would I do that? Well, let's make a material. So now that we know the path, now that we have the path starting from game, which is content, all we have to do, it's very simple. All we have to do now is recreate this path and this file name for a material inside of the Unreal Engine editor. Okay. So basically, yeah, I guess this step is kind of over. So let's go to step number 4, which is the file types. So step number 4 is different file types. So what file types are there? Well, in our case, it's a material. Okay. So if you want to find something with UModel, and you don't know what type it is, usually you can use the game developer's naming convention, like materials, or, textures, scale meshes, but not all of them, use the same naming conventions. They don't all use the same type of paths. So what you can do is you can go to Flat View. You can click here on the arrow at Tools and Scan Content. What that will do is it will scan all this content for the type that it is. So you can sort by texture, for instance, and you can go down here and all of these with a number in front of them. All these are textures. And then if you sort by animation or stat, which is static mesh, and scale, that's skeleton mesh. That is one way to figure out a type. Now, after you get a little bit used to Unreal Engine, you can kind of tell what type it is just by looking at files, names and files. But that is the different file types. And so when you make a file in Unreal Engine, make sure that you know what type it is first, and make sure that you make the same type. So let's go on to step 5, which is the demonstration. Okay, so in Unreal Engine, let's create the same file path to the file that we want to mod. Well, before we do that, there's a few settings you might want to set, which is if you go to Settings and Packaging, set your build configuration to shipping, and that's about it. Do that and hit save, and
Okay.
you're done. Now, there's one more setting you might want to use for loading materials, but I will get to that in a little bit. And, well, actually, I'll show you right away. So what you can do, some materials will not load unless you use the same project settings for this one specific setting. So what that is this setting. You can go up here and search for Share. Now, the setting is called Share Material Shader Code. It's on by default. Session, the game that I'm doing this demonstration on, is using false as the default option. The default option right now is true when you start a fresh project. So most games will have this set to true, but you might have to set it to false or true depending on what matches your game's project. So you're gonna have to fiddle with that, see what works. Now that we know that, let's create our first mod. Okay, so let's create the folder structure. We have the folder. Let's go to so UModel saved. Now this is the whole folder structure. It's character, uniques, ribsman, and materials, and those exist inside of a game, which we know is content. So when we are in here, right? When we are in here in the game folder, we're really inside of the content folder. And if you look here, that is also the root folder that you work in inside of the Unreal Engine editor. So what you can do is you can just copy this path, one folder at a time, like this, and create one folder at a time. And let's see. So we will create character. Let's create uniques. And let's go back. Let's create ribsman, like this. And let's go into ribsman, and here we have materials. So let's create the materials folder inside of ribsman, of course. And then let's see, is there any more folders? No, that's it. Then what you need to do is you need to copy the file name without the file extension, of course. So just the file name. And then you want to create a file of the same file type. So what we are trying to mod now is a material. Now, there are many different types in Unreal Engine, of course. There are in here, there's just a lot of different types. Here's a material, here's a shortcut. But, if you're trying to mod a blueprint, a class, or a blueprint function library, or a structure, all these things you can mod. You just need to recreate them in here. But in our case, we're doing it with a simple thing, which is a material. So let's create a material. Let's now copy-paste the name of our material, the one in here, to our material. Okay, so our material, because our material is on a skeletal mesh, which is a character mesh that moves, you will need a setting. You'll need to set a setting inside of a materials editor, which you get into by clicking the material. You will need to set a setting in here called use with scale meshes. So all you do here is you search for scale, use with skeletal mesh, hit OK, hit apply, and hit save. Now,
I don't know how I'm
to get
supposed
this
to know
material
that.
to have something of substance to show in the game, what we can do is we can create a, I think they're called a vector, actually let's just do a fucking, yeah, they're called a constant, let's create a constant 3 vector. There we are. What we can do also is convert it to a parameter, which is what I like to do because I want to use these with instances. And you need parameters with instances. You can't use the constants. So what you can call this is color parameter. And then in the color parameter, you can do something like multiply. And you can multiply this color parameter with a scalar parameter called
Bro's coding.
emission multiplier. I think that's how you call it. Or is it plier? No, that's how you do it with the pliers. Okay, so when you have this connected up, what you basically have here is if we just apply and we click this X and we go to this color, what you can do is you can set a value. So let's set 1 here. And that gives us a fully red color. What this value does is this multiplies this color value by this multiplier. So if we put that into the emissive color and we set the default value to 1, we're going to get a slightly emissive red color. Now if we set this to 2 or 20, you're going to get more and more emission coming off of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to like 10, like this. I'm going to hit apply, and now we have a very, very basic emissive material. Okay, so now that we have all of this set up, we have our material set up, we have the material set up to work with skeletal meshes, and we have, it's all set up basically. What we can do with materials is quite interesting. So when you replace a material, you can actually replace a material with a material instance. Yeah, so you don't have to replace materials with other materials, you can replace them with a material instance. So what we can call this is actual material, like that, and then we right click our actual material, and we create an instance, and what we want to do is the material that we are replacing, we want to just remove everything until it matches. So boom, here we go. Matt AMXX Ribsman costume. So now what we are doing is we are actually replacing a material with a material instance. And then our material instance will use our own material that we can call anything we want. Anything. We can call this hello. We can call it anything. But what we're doing is we're replacing a material with a material instance. And I like to do that because it gives us more options with how we can use that, what we can do with that material. So a few things we can do with a material instance, for instance, is we can double click it, we can go in here, and from here we can do this. We can very quickly, without recompiling the material, we can change the properties inside of this instance. So let's change them to 20 instead of 10 to get a little bit more emission. Okay, we can even change the color, so we can change this to a blue color or a purple color like this. So let's do that, and let's see if this works. So now that we've changed up the material instance of this material, what we want to do is we just want to cook this. Alright, so now that we are cooking that, let's go back to our games content folder. Let's get rid of this character folder here. Don't even know why I have it there. And then let's go to our Unreal Engine projects, what you can find in Documents, Unreal Projects. Then you find the project name for whatever game you're modding. So go watch the first tutorial on how to set this up. Then inside of here where you have the U project, you want to go to Saved, Cooked to get to the cooked files. Windows, no editor. You want to go to Session Game or whatever project name you have, Content, and then you want to copy the folder here of the mod you just made. So copy this whole folder, paste it in here so that we have the right path, right? So you can see if we go in here, we will have both files, both the actual material and the instance. Okay. And remember that the instance in this case replaces the actual material. So let us boot up the game and hope that it works. Now, in the past, this has worked for every other Unreal Engine version, so I would be surprised if it doesn't work, but you never know. And, as you can see, it works. So, what this shows us is that, well, I guess this is step 6. It's the conclusion of it. On Windows, no editor, in projects, what you do is we just want to cook this. Alright? So now
Cook set.
let's go back to our games content folder. Let's get rid of this character folder here. Don't even know why I have it there. And then let's go to our Unreal Engine projects, which you can find in Documents, Unreal Projects. Then you find the project name for whatever game you're modding. So go watch the first tutorial on how to set this up. Then inside of here where you have the U project, you want to go to Saved, Cooked to get to the cooked files. Windows, no editor. You want to go to Session Game or whatever project name you have, Content, and then you want to copy the folder here of the mod you just made. So copy this whole folder, paste it in here so that we have the right path, right? So you can see if we go in here, we will have both files, both the actual material and the instance. Okay? And remember that the instance in this case replaces the actual material. So let us boot up the game and hope that it works. Now, in the past, this has worked for every other Unreal Engine version. So
Alright, Meta, well,
if it doesn't work, but
basically what I learned is it might be possible.
so
If I could find a free version of this program.
well, I guess it's step 6. It's the conclusion of this whole thing.
But,
Yeah.
Is she doing that? What's she doing? She's pushing me along. What a nice lady. Well,
Winning for free doesn't seem to...
is basically how flexible Unreal Engine modding really is. Right? If the file is of the same type, it has the same path and the same name, and it is cooked with the same engine version that has the same project settings for whatever file you're trying to mess with, the file will load successfully if you have the Unreal Mod Unlocker installed. That is how the Unreal Mod Unlocker works.
Yeah, I'd have to at
Files
least
of the same type, and the material instance, and
log in.
it is
I'm not going to do tonight,
Instance.
but this is worth...
it's the same type.
Yeah, that might be.
Too.
It has the
It's
same
only
Because
650.
Yeah, and it does change with regardless of. I don't know if we need this program though. You know what I mean?
Right. Because a lot
I'm
of what he was
feeling
doing
like-
didn't.
Use the program at all,
Yeah.
except for this, which is Unreal.
Filing, Unreal Engine.
I'm pretty sure I don't need this, right?
We'll have to rewatch it when we're not
Yeah, falling
at
asleep.
the end of the night.
Where's
I don't
my-
even-
Hold on.
I don't even know if I'm on camera now. I'm like completely slid in my chair. Oh, my head's
Bro,
visible.
we get dude, the stream, dude. We actually just did a sleeping stream. Wow, that's crazy.
Shout out to everyone who stuck around for the Unreal Engine hacking tutorial. I mean modding tutorial. We're not hacking anything.
We're repacking. I don't even think I have Unreal Engine on Locker right now. Well, no, I think I do. Well, this is different, right?
No,
That's
that's
what I want.
because it's Universal
Yeah, no,
Unreal
no,
Unlocker.
No, no, this is.
No,
not
that's
what
the
I'm looking
one.
for. No, this doesn't give me the files though. This is the one that like we can like teleport and stuff with.
Oh, we did do a different one after. That's right.
Most of that stuff was on my laptop that I used to use, but I thought I had it in here still. But it's clearly not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I think I'm not gonna need it. Here's the whole. Well, clearly I was using the Street Fighter V unpacker, so.
Mm-hmm.
I learned things though. I can change a material if I make like a whole new thing. So now
Ugh.
things get real.
Yeah.
But not tonight.
Possible progress. Now we're gonna be
Possible
obsessed with this
progress.
for another 2 weeks. It's not gonna work,
Uh-huh.
and we'll be back in another year.
Yes, sir.
Away the road. Alright. I need to sleep, bro.
Yeah. I'm probably not gonna go to sleep, but I'll say
I'm
I
like
will.
very tired.
Sorry we couldn't play games today, everybody. Just blame Comcast. Can't really go wrong doing that. Should hopefully be back with Elden Ring tomorrow. I can't imagine the issues would continue for an entire day. That'd be crazy.
Oh, I found the free download, I think.
Ooh. But yeah. Thank you for sticking around for our poor attempt at playing Rocket League with high latency, and our ramblings and our video watching of trying to mod a game that none of you have played and none of you will probably play, but we'll still tell you to download it and speedrun it.
Exactly.
Because if you didn't know, there's a
Dude.
speedrun tutorial
Oh,
for
okay.
Unicorn. From this weird unknown person on YouTube. They go by like Fizzy Blizzy or something. What is your... No, you're Blizzard... Are you Blizzard GD on... What is your
No,
YouTube?
I'm fizzy_blizzy.
Oh, okay.
Good luck finding it though.
if you go to speedrunning.com/unicorn, or however their links go, there is a link there to the speedrun guide where Blizzard tells you how to beat me in a speedrun. It's pretty effective. I think the only person who's followed that guide has a better time than me in Unicorn. So, 100% success rate.
Well, I have it now, so that's cool.
You do have it.
Things just got real. And there's even tutorials for more types of modding.
Ooh.
Visual types, pack patches, hybrid file loading, sound waves, sound cues, static meshes. Could be some interesting stuff for sure.
But it's all for another time.
Yeah, it's definitely for another day. Alright. Thank you for watching, everybody. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Ads just ran, but I'm gonna click the button anyway to run 3 minutes. You're welcome, everybody. I can't believe it let me do that. I thought it was too close to the previous ones.